WIIFTBP.
Sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife, sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife. I can't get enough of you, thinking of you. Yeah, we have been married for years, but it feels like it's new. Yes, this is true, and it feels so good. Sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife, sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife. When we go out to our friend's house, you're looking sexy to me. Oh yeah, excusing ourselves in the bedroom while we sneak off and creep. Yes, this is true, and it feels so good. Sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife, sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife. I don't care where it will be, just let us be free. Making love to you all day while we sneak off and play. Yes, this is true, and it feels so good. Sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife, sneaking with my wife, creeping with my wife.
There.
Happy Wednesday, critics. How's everybody out there? I'm Kris the Critic, along with Gina B, welcoming you to the show.
Hey.
Today, well, you know what? First, I got to get used to Wednesdays, right? We used to be a Friday
different
late night
day.
show.
Yep.
I'm cool with the Wednesdays, but I'm more of a late night guy, more drinking, cursing. But, I mean, y'all okay with that? If I do a little bit of it, I'm sure. Again, live in the What's In It for the Black People studios. Kris and Gina tonight. What's on tap? Everybody's favorite subject. If you're single and the relationship might be a little bit on the whatever, you don't know, is this right? And he's right there. Maybe you all may want to watch this one in separate rooms tonight. Tonight's title is called Upgrade. Now, the definition of upgrade as I see it
Yeah.
is to raise something to a higher standard. Maybe you replace or you improve. Now, there are many ways to interpret upgrade. So, Gina, I know you and I probably have one or two different thoughts on this.
We do, just,
So-
semantics.
We're going to talk about upgrading in replacing folks. Maybe sometimes some people want to fix folks. I'm not a big proponent of fixing folks. You can modify folks. Just can't really fix them.
Yeah.
And then
cannot.
maybe just want to exchange folks out altogether. So
Women are the original rehabbers, so we.
so I only took a few notes. Gina got some notes.
I've got.
So we're going to talk about, are you ready to upgrade? I mean, there's some signs in your life. Some have to do with you. Also, needing to upgrade doesn't always have to be with another person. Sometimes it can be an issue with you.
That's true.
Then we're going to talk about signs that you're not ready to upgrade. And then, thirdly and most importantly, info and news you can use, tips to successfully upgrade.
Yes.
Or, I want something new. Where do I go? How do I go? How do I get it? Something new.
When do I know? Yeah.
And as always, you all feel free to chime in.
Please do.
Gina B is looking for all your comments.
Yeah, I'm checking I've got everything over here. So I'm not doing YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, I'm sorry. YouTube's a little unwieldy sometimes. So I'm on Facebook, checking the comments.
Got it. So, first, let's say you've had a breakup, right? Are you ready to upgrade? Are you ready to move on? I wanted to talk about a few things, and there are things you all can add, but I think in order to upgrade, you need to be ready to move on, right? No need.
That's
no
the
need
point.
taking your poison, miserable self, running off into a new relationship. Although we all have done it, I've done it, we've done it. We all do the dummy every now and then. But these are some signs that relationship's over, and maybe you should move on. Gina B, tell me if you agree, disagree.
I agree.
Chime in.
Of
You want to
course.
add?
I mean, upgrading. Yeah, definitely.
So
hopefully you upgrade. Hopefully you don't downgrade.
So these are signs, again, first, that you are ready to move on. So if you've broken up, crushed all of a sudden, but all of a sudden, these are signs. One, no particular order. You are excited to date.
Yeah.
Because if you are at a point where you've just been hit with the lowest of lows and gone through it, right? Cried, whined, hold out with a couple of people. It happens. You're down on men. I hate women. All women ain't. All dudes ain't. We've heard people say it. Mm-hmm. But if you are actually excited to date, you feel that there are good people in the world, it's a sign you're ready to upgrade and or move on. I call moving on upgrade as well. That's me.
Yeah, because, they're moving on and upgrading don't necessarily have to be the same.
Yeah, we're trying to get you to move it the right way because some people go back.
Some people don't downslide. Don't do that.
They do it.
Don't downgrade. Upgrade. You're going to move on. So, yeah.
Exactly. If you can think about falling in love again. Sometimes that's the furthest thing from my mind. My life will never be the same. People act like they were born attached to the hip with a person.
Right.
Like if that person's not in my life, it just won't be the same. I've never known happiness without them.
Right. I can't live. No.
Yeah.
No, sweetie, you were born alone.
Exactly. And that's another thing. If you are happy by yourself, that is an excellent sign.
Absolutely.
That you're ready to move on.
Because you will not, if you're happy by yourself, what that also means is that you won't just move on with any old person.
Right.
That person needs to be good enough for you to take away from your exciting self-time.
And I think what people don't realize is, as much as I love my wife, she loves me, or you love somebody, you aren't born necessarily needing anyone. You should be happy and whole.
Yep.
Before you go on with somebody.
You should.
Can I get an amen on that? Because I see a lot of people who sometimes move on. Church, y'all heard me. Can I get an amen? Some people move on before they're happy and whole.
They do. Because what they're looking for. And this is like, I told you my cake analogy, didn't I? I think I've done this in another
Good with some
show.
analogies. Tell me about the cake analogy.
My cake theory.
What is that?
And I did this seriously 2 shows ago. I think I said this. So if this is not
You heard it act like it's the first time.
Just pretend. So I'm gonna tell a story over and over again if it applies. So
right.
It's basically that we're each our own cake, right?
Uh-huh.
I like to think that I'm a devil's food. We're each our own cake. So someone can be your frosting, right?
Okay.
Or sometimes you don't need frosting. Sometimes you're a perfectly great pound cake, like a fully formed person with your own flavor. You don't need icing. But no one can be like your flour. Like no one can be any of the components that require you, that allow you to become the cake, right?
Okay.
So that's my cake analogy. So if you find
that's true.
that you need eggs to be your fully formed, beautiful cakes like moist and just tasty person,
Right.
then you need to do some work.
True.
Look for the icing, not the cake.
Another telltale, if you are ready to move on or if you're ready to upgrade or not, if you no longer really think about the person. Ladies, if you no longer stalk his social media. Now, I take that back. There are a lot of guys who do some stalking too. They don't talk about it as much, but women are real vocal about stalking it. I have female friends who, they want me to go check on somebody's page. And I'm like, are we really doing that still?
Even if you're not going that far, even if you're not stalking. Okay, so even if it's just, so if you normally go to the store and you pick up something for them to eat too.
Right.
Or, I'll get him a bottle of water if I'm getting a bottle of water. Or, maybe he wants something to eat. And you find yourself, you've gone into that store, you come out, you're eating, you're like, oh, damn, I got to get something for him.
Right.
Like, it's not even interesting for you to try and take care of him or to do anything to enrich your relationship. If you start forgetting about him like that, then it might be time.
It might be time to go. He needs to leave you. No, I'm just like, or you need to leave him or him.
Herb Howard said the cake analogy was exciting him. Was it when I said moist, Herb? Is that what happened?
Herb likes the word.
The word moist.
Yeah, I've heard him.
Is that what it was?
I've heard him privately on the phone, and I heard him tell somebody something.
Yeah, that was moist. Okay. Yeah.
So, you know what you want, and you are okay with having open and honest, and I'll call it intimate communication with a prospective person. A lot of times, you end a relationship, you may tiptoe into the next relationship because you don't want to muck it up, right?
Right. You don't rock the boat.
But if you are, happy with yourself and able to openly, intimately communicate that with someone with full honesty and the spirit of good, I mean, not that whole, here's what I ain't going to settle for.
Right.
That's not a happy person. That's a miserable being. Run from that person, male or female.
Definitely do.
I hate when people say that.
Especially when they're slurring.
I read it. You ever see people's Facebook pages? You ever go through somebody's social media, you're like, that person's just got to be miserable.
You can always tell.
It's a miserable single-ass people.
You can also tell when there was a bad breakup.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll say things like their whole, like, the Facebook, their update will be that moment when you realize the person you thought had your back didn't. Or, it'll be something like that. Like, okay, sis, I don't know what is going on.
And there's a few close people to them commenting, like, yeah, fuck him.
Exactly.
Fuck her. Yeah, fuck his whole family.
Calm down.
You're like, right.
But you find out your baby mama's a hoe. It's like, well, okay.
Right. You go back 1 year, just as a memory, they just put up a memory of like a year ago. They were the best person ever.
A year ago, they're like, and then the comment is, fuck that bitch.
Right. Let's see. Oh, you accept people for who they are. Now, by that I mean you are open to give and take. So many times, when we are unhappy or something's not right, you want to force a square peg into a round hole. You want to change people.
Right.
People are not going to change.
No.
But if it's enough for you, some give and take, I understand that they need this, I need that, they like to do this, and it's not a deal breaker. Now, that's a whole nother show. But if it's not a deal breaker,
right,
and you're accepting of their differences, some people get tied up in everything. And I hate to say it, the older we get sort of stuck in our ways. We are less tolerant of everything.
There's a lot of fear in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
there's a lot of fear of accepting the unknown and just really rolling with it.
Right, or something that someone else likes that you didn't.
Yeah.
Or some sort of idiosyncrasy. But I think there's some room for some give and take, because just know that they do a little give and take with you. We all like to think we're sort of perfect.
Exactly.
But we're not.
Tiger Lily.
Hey Kris
Tiger
the Guns.
We have the gun. Travis said we had the gun show today. I don't know.
We did do a couple.
I'm working on.
We did some push-ups together. No, we didn't.
No.
Right before the show.
If by push-ups you mean shots, then yes.
If by that you mean shots of peach whiskey, we are guilty of it.
Absolutely. Someone asked, Troy wants to know, this is interesting, does an upgrade always require trading in the old model? Well, yeah, you got to get rid of the old model. You got to make room in the garage
unless you're in the
for
country,
the new model.
Unless you're into polyamory. That was last week's.
That was.
Or the week show ago.
That was.
Typically, you have to do that. You got to make some changes. Either to yourself, because sometimes we do need to upgrade. I think we all should look at ourselves and try to be a better person today than we were yesterday. Shout out to Big Kev. We see you, dog. Thanks for joining the party.
I like that he refers to himself as Big Kev.
Big Kev. It's my A1 from day one.
Is Kev big? Like, is he tall?
He's not that. He's taller than me. He's always been taller than me. But I've been doing it literally since kindergarten. I have a picture with us in kindergarten. We look very
Is he
soft.
Big Kev then? He's like,
No.
I'm Big Kev at 5.
He was flyweight Kev.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, Kev.
Love you, Kev.
Make fun.
Good fellas.
I like to call you some Big Kev though.
So, yeah, that's another one. So, in the last few, I said this one earlier. You got to be attracted to somebody else, or you're happy with yourself. You're over this person, and you allow yourself to look at the possibilities, because a lot of times, we're going through it. Your guy might come to you, man. Well, what do you want to meet so and so? No, man. You can't get past her, or she can't get past him. You have to be, when you find yourself open to living, loving someone else, it's a good sign.
It is. I'll tell you what. There was a relationship that I was getting out of, and I knew it was time for me to get out of it because I was too busy hawking other dudes.
Yeah, it was over there.
Like,
yeah. Oh, that's. You're like, why was I so sad?
Me.
Why was I so sad about that shit anyway?
I don't care.
You wasn't shit.
Like, we were still together, and I was like, okay, I need to break up.
Right.
Because obviously my attention is not here.
Now, every now and then, I hand out a jewel. Every now and then.
A jewel.
I hand out. Kris the Critic hands out a jewel. I don't just do this.
Okay.
True to this.
What you got?
Listen, so I'm gonna write this one down.
Okay.
You begin to realize if you're a woman, and I don't want to sound like any sort of celebrities with books out that I could write better, but if you're a woman, you may find out what men really want, right? And now you know what you need. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But we never think about what the other person needs. And I always say this, men are simple creatures. All men really want. You can help me with the woman, because I put what I think women want, but I don't really know. But I know what men want.
Okay.
They sort of want to feel like a hero, right? Not necessarily a hero to you, like I got to save you, but they want to feel like you're a hero. A man likes to just feel needed.
And see, that's where that Captain Save-A-Ho thing comes in.
No, it doesn't have to be that deep. He just wants to feel needed, wanted. That's it. That's all. Okay. Listen, I know it's a lot of independent, super partner level, super successful, super dope car driving people, women out here, right? But a man still simply wants to be neat.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean, make him a sandwich, give him some ass, but he just simply wants to feel like you need him.
Yep.
Even if you don't, make him think that. That's the jewel I'm giving you. We simple creatures. All right, now y'all write that down. Dude ain't gonna, he's always feel he's gotta be there for you. I gave it to you. Choose to use it if you want to. And for men,
I would agree.
I think women want to feel like, tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm like
a man who is dependable.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big one that men overlook. Trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah.
Because I think women, not all women, excuse me, if I want the femininity to come get me, all right? But I think women are more nurturing, and I think nurturing people look for people that are dependable and trustworthy because they like to be nurturing to them, whatever.
So to oversimplify this.
Okay, help me out. Was I wrong?
Here's my theory. I'm just dropping theories tonight. So
theories?
are you. But
right.
we are both dropping our knowledge.
That was a jewel.
Dropping our knowledge tonight. So here's how I've always framed it, because it's so, we are bio-individual, right?
A what?
We are bio-individual. Like, we're all different. So I feel, I've noticed that men like to be treated. Okay, so every man has in his head a definition of what a man is, right? Like what it means to him to be a man, and that's what he strives for. So a man wants a woman that's going to like support that and make him feel more that. Like
absolutely.
If this is what you think a man is supposed to be, the woman should be supportive of his viewpoint of himself as a man. Okay, so now whatever that is. Okay, so I don't know if it's that he wants to be the ultimate provider. I don't know if it's that he wants, whatever that is, that's the woman that he needs. Women want men to make them feel like their idea of what a woman is supposed to be. So if as a woman, you pride yourself on like being attractive or being, whatever, then you want a man that makes you feel the most attractive, right? Because that's how you value yourself as a woman. So you just got to figure out what that person values about being themselves and support that. So if that's, I want to feel needed. I want to feel like, as a man, I want to feel like she needs me. Then there we go. Oops.
I agree. I think that's
Top of
golden
my
advice.
stack of phones.
And if my better half is listening, I feel needed when you
course
let
she
me
is.
grab your cheeks and don't say anything.
Your cheeks.
I'm a cheek grabber.
Okay.
Not those cheeks.
You're your wife's cheek grabber. Let's be very specific about the cheeks.
Exactly.
That you're grabbing.
Thank you, Gina B.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's reach around the glass. Way to keep your boy out of trouble.
Okay.
I agree. So, did you want to add anything? Because at some point, I'm going to go to some tips to upgrade. Or did you see anything good out here?
No, I mean, okay, so Boosie Latham says her husband says all the time that all he wants is respect.
I read that. I love that.
That's great. If literally, I mean, that's a big thing because you could do anything, but if you disrespect him, he's, like, look, you've stepped over the line. Like,
Look,
you just have to know the boundaries.
I want to know by show of likes, the blue things. If there's anyone out here, and we won't tell.
Brian Foster's in the house.
Mrs. Levy chimed in. Let me read this. Don't talk about me on the show. Didn't we just talk about feeling supported?
Well, the
on
way you
your
can
talk
support
show
her,
host endeavors?
I guess the way you can support her is by not talking about it.
All right, fine. And I'll unleash my particular set of skills.
Do that privately. Privately.
Show of likes, hands. Is anybody with somebody right now? Because everybody's not married watching this, right?
Right.
To my single folk out there, because the married folks, you got to deal with the Lord and your vows and oaths to get out of here, But to my single folks, just let me see a like if you're not watching with the person. Yeah, maybe you thought about upgrade. It's circle of trust. Circle of trust. I just want to see a couple likes if you've thought about upgrade. I'm gonna give you some tips.
We've got a couple seconds. We're delayed.
Oh, we do have a delay.
Wait, and then,
okay, everybody's with the person.
Hopefully, we don't see a big flash of hopefully people are with people that they actually like, right?
Yeah, because I want to get into some of the ways to upgrade, tips,
ways to move on, or see.
I'm giving
this
them out
might be
anyway.
a good time to talk about my thoughts.
Okay. We'll come back to that later. We'll do that next time.
Let's wait. Okay.
We'll do that next. We're gonna do it anyway. I don't care what they say. Okay, we got one. Oh,
we got a few. Okay, we got
a couple. Okay, honest. We won't tell. We will not tell.
It is time for an upgrade. Boosie's like,
Boosie,
I love how Kris talks about you on the show.
I do.
You can tell he
know what,
truly
that
admires
Boosie-
you. That's so sweet.
Boosie, we're gonna leave some.
It's true.
I'm gonna leave some gifts for Boosie at the station.
Yes.
I will let Mace Jackson, president, CEO, founder of What's in It for the Black People Network. Next week, I'm gonna leave a bottle of wine for Boosie Latham. No one is to drink it. So we'll talk.
Okay. Have you seen the cast of characters that do shows here? No one is to drink the wine.
They know I ain't that soft ass talk show host. I will somebody up.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. You got a couple minutes. And you gonna
Okay, a
continue
couple
on the
minutes.
next
I was
one.
just going to say that when you brought this topic up and you said, let's do something on upgrading,
right.
the thing I thought immediately was, the Beyonce song, Let Me Upgrade You, right?
Yeah, Beyonce get rid of your ass. Yeah.
No, but Beyonce was saying, let me just up level your style and your taste. And that's what I was thinking when you said upgrade, which I don't always think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Beyonce knows how to write hits, though.
Upgrade somebody. Well, okay. Well, she's also married to Jay-Z, who has his issues, but
she ain't going nowhere. He got too much money. He got too much paper. She's not going.
Well, she's no slouch. Don't sleep.
Yeah, but they
like what?
I agree.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
I'd pay more to see her in concert than him.
Yep. That's when I would pitch the polyamorous relationship. She left him. My wife would just have to deal with it. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, once again,
She
talking
understands
about her
that.
on the show. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if sometimes you upgrade people to the point where they leave you and they think they're upgrading. It's like, I'm sorry, what? I thought I was the one.
Oh, so you're saying the woman helped fix the guy, fix him up, makes him look better, and all of a sudden he looks a little better,
And now he's
dips.
like, I could upgrade. It's like, no.
Does that happen?
Hell
I mean,
no,
it
I
happens in
upgraded you.
movies, but does that happen?
Yeah, it happens.
You know somebody that's happened to.
Absolutely. Yes, I do.
I definitely want to hear about that before I get some tips. And I want to know if any of them have, because that's a different.
Have you ever
that's
upgraded
messed up.
someone and they have just ghosted on you?
Because I will say this. That's why I love women. They do make men better, right? Not now, but I do tend to dress a little better. You know, my wife picks out things. Not that I dress. I was a fashionable guy, but they tend to bring the best out with you and show you flaws and they put you together well. But there are guys who leave on that, like, you know what?
Yeah.
I've figured it out
I've
now.
been put together. Now I'm
I've
going to find
figured
me
it out.
a different woman.
I got some clothes that hide this stomach. I'm about to move on.
I'll tell you what. It was funny because we were watching TV last night, right? So my fiance is like, you make me a better man, honey. And I was like, and so I'll tell you.
He's already like the Great Gatsby.
That was
I've
the
been
thing about
learning
him.
more. Listen, I've been learning more and more about that dude. He's already like the Great Gatsby. That's going to be his nickname, the Great Gatsby.
Yeah, okay. Don't blow his head up. I think
But
he's
go
watching.
ahead.
No, but I'm like, okay, because he never really gives me compliments necessarily, right? So I was like, well, how do I make you a better man? And he just kind of like doesn't really say anything. So I was like, okay.
That's tweet.
Is it sweet?
Tweet it is. I think
Why is
so.
that sweet? What part of that is
I'm a
sweet?
sensitive guy. I'm a sensitive man.
I was like, I wanted some data points. He didn't give me data points. I guess she's just blowing smoke on my ass. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway.
I don't like my wife being smart, using words like data points in the bedroom. She can't outside of the bedroom. I don't want.
Well, yeah, because you don't like what she'd be measuring if she were giving you data points.
She can measure whatever she wants to measure in the bedroom, Gina B. I have a particular set of skills. But anyway, excuse me.
If she started using data points, I would have to wonder.
You know what? There you. Now Gina B brought that up, babe. Gina B. She ain't right. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, okay. So here we go. You put a man together, and then he starts getting noticed by women. All of a sudden, he thinks he's the shit. Yeah, that's true.
I can see that.
Like, wait a minute. Look, she put me together. I have better clothes. I look better. I'm more. And you know what? Women can sniff out a man who has a woman's influence on fashion and whatever. And that becomes attractive to them. They like a put together man.
That's true.
They don't really think about how he got that way, but they like a put together man. So I agree with Ms. Riley.
I was looking at some of the comments.
And you're commenting. This is why you're not paying.
Tasha Riley, shout out.
Me.
She went to my grade school.
You've got all the homies.
First off, congrats to.
Where are my homies?
She seems to have a great man. I saw one of her social media posts.
Okay.
He's gifted her. I guess she's in the spices. Gifted her. She took a picture. She's beaming in a food truck that her man gifted her.
What?
I thought that was wonderful.
That is amazing.
I think
Congratulations.
I'd like an invite. It may not have to be to the wedding, but something, because y'all look like ballers.
Tasha Riley, tell us about the food truck. Tell us where it is
Right.
and
Tasha
where
Riley,
we can find
we
it.
want to know something about this relationship. Obviously, I can speak for her. She's not looking for an upgrade. But we're going to hear about that. We got to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll be right back. Gina B is going to steer the boat, and then I will chime in with some tips in 2 minutes. Does that work?
That works.
We'll see you guys
See you in a second.
2 tips. We're coming right back, for real.
Okay.
See y'all in a minute.
WIIFTBP.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten us. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see. And that you got my love, now you wanna your hands together. Put your hands together. Oh my. I had a conversation with her. This is how it went. Before you leave out the door. Before you leave out the door. Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Welcome back, critics, to the Kris the Critic Show with Kris and Gina. We're talking about upgrading. So we talked about signs if you're ready to upgrade, not ready to upgrade. And now I'd like to give out a few tips, if you will. Similar to dating tips, where to go to find somebody new if you need to get somebody new. Who, what, when, where, all of that good stuff.
All that stuff, yeah.
So I was going to chime in with a couple. Gina B, let me know if you agree or disagree. Okay. So first, if you want different results, this critic always says you got to do what?
Something different.
Got to do something different.
Have to.
Do not go to the lounge on 75th Street week in and week out and wonder why you can't find a good dude. Now, because you're doing the same thing. Obviously, they ain't checking for you. Obviously, not the type of guy you want. And if you do the same thing, you don't get the same type of guy, the same type of results.
You will, and you'll get his friend, and you
Right.
do not want that.
Right.
I mean, like seriously, if you met a guy at a club, the same club,
Right.
don't go to
Now-
that same club and meet a guy. And someone's asking, Karen Allen asked, what time? The show starts at 6, Karen Central.
Is she's ex-military. She's real, she's real on time.
1,800 hours is
You
when
know
the
what?
show
Hold on. Let me
starts.
talk to the producer. All right. One of our viewers wants us to start promptly at 6. Can we
No, well,
accommodate that?
I think she joined in like kind of in the middle.
She
So,
joined in
yeah,
late?
we
Oh,
were-
that
we
wasn't a
were-
dig on
we
us?
were on a break.
Was that a dig on us?
No, because I think she probably joined in and didn't. Well, anyway,
Okay.
I just wanted to chime
Okay.
in because it
All
was
right.
a comment. But anyway,
Shout out to Kay. Thanks
Hey.
for joining.
glad you're here.
It's not a comfortable thing, but you have to do something different, right?
You do. You should.
So one of the things I tell people, it sounds cliche. We'll start with the cliche and not so cliche. If you see or have friends who have guys that you think, or types of guys you think you would be, talk to them. Make friends with them. Ask your friend about them. Does he have any friends? Sometimes we seem a little too prideful to do so. But I think birds of a feather flock together. If he's a pilot, he works for United, and he's a righteous man and dependable because he shows up to work all the time and he's not drunk, guess what? He knows some other guys just like that.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. He knows some winners, right?
On the-
Winners know winners.
On the flip side, if he is the head of the dog pound, you do not want any of his friends. And
True.
you know who I'm talking about, right?
True.
You know the dude who there's always they're up to no good.
There's always some hoes around.
Do not
Right, I got you.
do not with him.
I always say take new hobbies.
Yeah, new hobbies are good because especially Lee Farmer, shut up. Hold
on.
Talking about how you were late today. It was like 6:06.
He has a point. We were.
Okay. Well, you know the point is
We'll
at the
do
top
better.
Of your head.
We'll be better. We'll do better. When we say we were late, it is what it is.
I mean, we're usually a few.
Go
But
ahead.
it's- anyway, what was I even saying? See, this totally.
we're
took
talking
me off
about
my square.
do some new things.
We're talking about doing some new things. So there's got to be something that you've always wanted to do.
Right.
Like there's a class you've always wanted to take. There is a
Right.
social event, and even if you don't have anyone to do it with you,
Absolutely. And
Do it
if
by
you're-
yourself.
And if you're a guy, think about it. Let's say you're a guy and you want to find somebody who's active, ready to do some things and do something you never do. Take a salsa lesson. Think about it. More women sign up for dance lessons than guys. It's taking you out of your comfort zone. It's going to take you to meet some people you don't normally know.
right?
Conversely, if you're a woman, and I'm not trying to say, maybe you don't play golf and you always want to know how to play, right?
Maybe you like axe throwing.
But I'm just saying, there are a lot of men on the golf
I
course.
want to take axe throwing.
There are a lot of men on the golf course who I would dare to say, correct me if I'm wrong, are gainfully employed.
Yeah, you have to be gainfully employed.
That's
Golf is
all.
not a
Now
poor
you're
man's
getting what
game.
I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I agree. Like,
Okay,
go
so-
to do something that requires money, right?
There you go.
Avoid those park district activities that are free.
Speaking of, oh, by the way, and the wife threw this in.
Don't talk about her on the show.
I'm giving her a shout out.
Okay.
Conferences. She's big on conferences.
Oh yeah.
Professional conferences.
Yes.
Right? If you are, I don't know, an accountant, I'm sure there's some sort of professional accountants, something somewhere.
Oh, there's an association for every single thing.
And if you're not part of that particular group, a lot of these places, for instance, I'm sure the Black Pilots Association has some sort of convention. And with every convention, there's some sort of party that goes on. You need to be you got to fish where the
and
fish
it's
are.
a hotbed of activity.
You got to fish where the fish are.
True.
Travel is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
People that travel typically have more income. And I'm not saying you just want to be with somebody with more money, but yes, you do.
We used to go to the Black Ski Summit all the time.
I've done that,
I
and
used to do that.
that is a different type of black folk.
That is, well, now it's
When I went,
but
I was the
it used to be
person
a
who
different
probably shouldn't have gone there.
It was, yeah. It was really, I mean, it used to be really, really nice. Like a very, like,
That is an
good
excellent
caliber.
point. I mean,
It's
I
got a
was
little
invited
ratchet.
by someone else. I used to get invited to these. There's a group, the Snow Gophers. So I used to get invited
Oh,
to
yeah,
that.
Snow Gopher.
When I was a
Listen.
kid, I used to get invited to theirs. As an adult, a coworker who's Northwestern MBA grad, his roommate bailed on him. Said, "Man, you want to go to this Black Ski Summit?" I'm single at the time. I'm a young man, but I've never heard of this, right? East side of Chicago. Shout out 87th in the building. But anyway, I says, are there women there? He's like, dude.
Half the East Side.
He's
was
like,
at
dude,
the
there
Black
are
Ski Summit.
educated, fine women who want people just like us. They got a pajama party. I was like, stop.
You like a pajama jammy
You
jam?
had me at the pajama party. So I went to the Black Ski Summit. It's an excellent event. Also, we have a friend who's an attorney
Yes.
who's married to a really good guy. They met at the Black Ski Summit. I think that's the story.
What are you talking about?
The same party I met you at.
Oh, no, that's not. Anyway.
I think they did.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they would.
That's
They
not
got
how
a ski story.
That's not how that happened. They ski, but that's not how that happened. But anyway, I know
Right,
people. Listen, I used to go to the Black Ski Summit all the time, and I have witnessed the activities. But you know what? It's different than it used to be, I have to say.
Right. Now, not to get off subject, but Mrs. Critic also chimed in. There's some places you shouldn't go that you think you should go. We say no to. We said the lounge. Church is not a place. I think church is a good place for women because
There's some predators in the church.
that's
Don't
not just
sleep.
that. But here's why: there are if you're a man, there's a plethora of nice, educated women churching and worshiping the Lord, wearing their Sunday's best, waiting on you. But if you're a woman, you're basically in shark-infested waters.
Yes, yeah.
So if you're a woman, skip church. If you're a guy, go to church. That's all I get.
If you, yeah, I'll tell you what. It's a funny story. So when my godson was getting christened, right?
Right?
It was obviously, well, it was years ago. And I am not a particularly religious person, like at all. Like, I'm just not.
Did you say
And-
like y'all?
No, I
Did you
said
hate on religion?
at all.
You hate on the Lord?
I don't hate on anything. I just don't really.
Don't you disrespect my Jesus,
don't
Lord,
affiliate.
Savior in this building.
I don't affiliate with a religion necessarily. Like,
All
I
right.
was never. I
All right,
wasn't
we'll
really
talk
raised-
about it later.
So I was in church
Yeah.
for this christening, and it's amazing that the lightning didn't strike because I was there.
Okay.
But I was looking around, like, look at all these well dressed. And then it was like a full mass for this christening, right? And so I just remember that there's a part, and it was at Trinity Church, right? Which was like, at the time, that was like, I don't know if it is now, but whatever. It was like the church, right? Like, people would love to go to Trinity. And there were a lot of people that were connecting and fellowshipping at Trinity, if you know what I'm saying. So I was looking around the room, and I was like, oh. And there was a part where you go and you give people peace.
Right?
And I was like, I want to go give him peace. I mean, it was just like, this is credible. But there's so much undercurrent of drama going on at the church. So
Got it.
Anyway, so no one is telling anybody to hate God.
No,
Khalid Hawk.
we weren't getting.
Khalid.
So
No, it's not.
I'm reading the topics. That's why if you see me looking down, I'm trying to keep up with some of the topics. I get Kay Allen joined late. Karen, we're talking about upgradings. We talked about signs you should upgrade.
Yep.
Should you upgrade? Should you not upgrade?
How to move on.
And
is
now
where
we're
we are
talking
now.
about some tips on getting, better than what you had.
Yep. Better than what you had is the key.
Somebody said Melody Winston's in the house.
Hey.
Mel, what's going on? Living Word Christian Center in the building, speaking to church. So
You're telling
Karen Allen asked a question. Are the men on the golf course paying attention to the woman? That's the same as if the guys on the basketball court are paying attention to the girl shooting hoops, if she's cute, next to the court. Of course they are. Men always see women. They're always looking at women, period. So, and every man who is at the golf course doesn't play. I took some lessons because I'm not proficient, and I was at the golf course.
You're just, hanging out on the golf course.
But the golf course is just one.
Picking up the residual
It's
women
just one.
who might be trying to find golfers.
The golf course is just one avenue. For instance, you might be watching, I don't know, but we just had a big political season. You might be watching politics and say, man, some of these gentlemen on here, they seem like they'd be a great date. But, they have, in D.C., the Black Caucus throws some parties. I've been to it.
They do.
Obama was there. Nice time, if you're into that. But whatever you're into, you got to go to, right?
Yeah, and you should, expand your horizons too.
Right.
Because you just never know.
Right. I wouldn't limit, if I were single looking just for happiness, I wouldn't limit myself to race. I wouldn't limit myself to religion. I wouldn't limit myself. We talked about online dating before. A lot of people, especially slightly more mature people, have an adverse opinion of online dating. Young people do it all the time. But you don't have to go to a Tinder or whatever. They got singles groups, events and adventures. They do trips.
I have a few friends who have met their spouses on these adventure groups.
Yeah, so they have these single
They do
adventure
activities
groups
together.
So exactly, you might travel and go skiing or something like
You
that.
can see if he hikes without panting.
Right,
That's
and
also good.
exactly, and it's all singles, and you do something. So these groups aren't cheap. So if there's a guy on that trip, chances are he's gainfully employed. That's part of the battle, right? And he likes to do or try different things, and he's not closed-minded. Same for guys looking for women. I think those groups are excellent.
Yeah, no, those are great groups, and there's a lot you can observe about a person.
Right.
When you're doing an activity, you can see if they're,
There are a lot of, especially now coming out of this pandemic, there are tons of tentpole events, national events that are happening around. I would be careful in the events. I don't think you're going to find, I don't know, but anything can happen. I don't think you're going to find your soulmate at Lollapalooza, maybe, right? Everybody's sort of mollied up.
You never know. When you're rolling,
It is, but and then
you might find your
sugar baby.
Your roll mate.
You might find your tonight mate.
Lollapalooza, exactly.
But
Better
there are
hope you
other
remember in the
events.
morning.
There's an event that I've never gone to,
Which is what?
but I gotta believe there are a lot of good men that go there.
Burning Man.
Exactly, the Naperville Rib Fest.
Oh no, I can tell you no. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, as a guy, I just want to go eat there because I like
Look.
ribs. And if I want to go there, I know there are other good guys who want to go there.
If you are not a person who partakes in pork, you don't want to find a man at Naperville Rib
I'm
Fest.
sorry. Gina B is extra healthy. All of our viewers are not, okay? I'm a bacon pork eater, proud of it all day,
I've been
every
to
day.
Naperville Rib Fest. In fact, Lee did an event there once.
Shout out to Lee Farmer he's pretty much everything.
Well, I couldn't get out of
See
there.
what I'm saying?
I could not get out of there fast enough. Like, I was just like,
Because
this is
of
a
the food?
whole place dedicated to pork. I cannot. Yeah, I haven't eaten pork since I was a teenager, so yeah.
I mean, you never know who you're hosting the show with.
The whole
That's all I
point
gotta
here,
say.
my whole point, the whole
I
point
didn't know
is
that.
not
I
my
didn't know
eating
that. We
habits.
got to reevaluate all of this.
My eating habits are not the point. The point is, if you, Lee, they have some good talent. What are you talking about?
See what I'm saying?
Look,
he knows.
Wait till I get
He
home.
knows.
Yeah, you some pork eating bitches. If go to things. Okay, and also this speaks to an earlier point, actually. So don't go places just for the sake of I might meet someone. Go someplace for the sake of I enjoy it.
True.
and this is going to enrich me to be a whole person.
Absolutely.
Because I'll tell you what, nothing is more attractive than watching a person have fun.
True.
Like when you see somebody that's having a great time, you want to be part of that. And so you just don't think about finding another person. Think about what you can do to make yourself happy, and that person will follow. They'll want to be a part of your fun.
So if you like pork, don't
If you
deny
like pork,
yourself.
Go for it.
Then you got to go. We mentioned online dating. We mentioned festivals. We mentioned the tentpole events. There are a lot of tentpole events coming up. I mean, seriously, coming out of this pandemic, any and everybody is trying to plan some sort of outdoor event. I say get out, get vaccinated, be seen.
Or do what feels comfortable for you.
Listen, I'm going to give out, and I've said this in an earlier show. If you don't have a pet, get a dog. Go down to one of those places where they have these 3-legged dogs. They've been hurt, shelters. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Long story short, you go to a dog park. I got a little, the dog park.
I love Gavin.
The dog park is the new club. The doggy park.
But here's, okay, let me just.
I mean, you got to be selective in your doggy parks.
You do, but okay, so let's be clear. Get a pet because you want a pet.
Okay.
Like, don't be those people that goes to get a pet because it's the pandemic and then goes to return the pet when they go back to work.
If you see there's no findings at that dog park.
That is kind of that's
okay. Can we assume
Don't
that they
do
like pets? All right.
Well, we can assume that. But I'm just saying. Like I've seen articles where there's been a surge in
because it's the
returning
club.
pets.
I'm telling
And
you.
I'm telling you what.
I was there with my whole family. Right.
I am an animal lover. Don't return a pet. I mean, a pet is now your family.
Look.
Once you bring a pet into the home, that is your pet.
I'm there with my whole family, wife, kids. However,
His dog is so cute.
but I
love his dog.
I couldn't help but notice their food trucks, their groups of people walking dogs, a lot of single folk.
Yeah.
If I was single, I'd be checking for rings, seeing what type of shoes they had on. Ladies, you can see.
What kind of shoes? They have the kind of shoes that can withstand stepping in dog
It's just
crap.
like guys, you can tell what type of women you want to talk to. If she looks cute, and then you look from here, you staring down, you keep going down, and she's got on like the latest Jordans, I'd pass.
You know, no woman in Jordans?
She's probably too young, or she spits probably. I don't like women that
She
spit.
spits.
It is
I know
what
some
it is.
sneakerheads that are cool.
All right.
I mean, I do.
They're
I
an
do.
exception,
I know
not the
some.
rule.
I'm
And
not
ladies,
one, but I think that,
ladies,
you know,
when you
there's
see a
some.
guy and his shoes jacked up, or his fingernails look jacked up and dirty,
Don't do that.
Don't
Nothing
do
with
it.
the dirty hands. Say
my
no to that.
dad, he was alive, R.I.P. Matt Levy. When he was alive, when I was a little boy, if my nails were even a bit long or dirty, he didn't care if it was after a baseball game. He was all over me.
Your daddy raised you right.
So I'm all over that.
Don't let a man with dirty nails touch you. That's all I'm saying.
We have a couple minutes left, and I would be remiss if I didn't get to say Gina B is coming back. She's going to be on Brian Foster's show. The topic is what, Gina B?
Ask a black woman anything.
So, fellas,
if
ladies,
you have questions,
if you have questions for a black woman,
there are going to be 4 of us. It's going to be
listen,
fun.
I already told Brian Foster, I'm asking them some hard questions for stealing
Whatever.
my talent. But no, it should be a great show. Ask a black woman
hey, Claudia.
anything. So tune in for that. Another tip I want to give, we got a couple things, and this is for men and women. It's okay to flirt, right? I think that is a lost art. We had a guest on the show. We want to talk about who the guest was, who's an excellent flirter.
Oh, yeah.
She's great at what I call dropping the handkerchief. That could be a smile. Fellas, that could be a prolonged look. Not a creepy look. There's a fine line between letting her catch you and you looking like a creep.
You know what that fine line is? That fine line is whether or not she finds him attractive.
Absolutely, 100%. If
An
you give it,
unattractive man is always a creep.
fellas, if you give that, even if you do it perfectly, you give a little bit, she catches you, look away. If you happen to glance back and she's not looking,
And she's like,
move on. It's over. Anything after that, you're a creep.
you are classified as a creep.
You're classified as a creep.
telling you what,
That was a
that's the
jewel you
truth.
just gave out. Gina B, fellas, just gave you all an effing jewel. But ladies,
Wait a minute. Boosie Latham says, her grandma used to say, get you a man with dirt on his nails and
Rusty.
rusty.
But
Those are the hard work.
if he's in his work clothes,
Yeah, but when he scrubs up,
if
you
he's
better
at
be
church,
scrubbing
though,
up.
Boosie, if he's at church and hadn't cleaned those up,
You do
he's
not want a dirty
nasty all
man.
over. But she has a point to that. You see a guy, it's lunchtime, and you see him at a food truck and you driving by, her grandma is 100% on the money. And women, especially our women, see how you just frown? If you knew how much some of these laborers made, you wouldn't be frowning.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Okay. No dirty nails is my point. No.
So I was going to go into what I was going to ask you the next show.
Oh, the next show.
But I won't.
No. So stay tuned, right? I will be staying here, and Kris will be watching from else because he wants to watch the game. So he won't.
Golden State Warriors, LA play-in game tonight. Matter of fact, at my house, any of my close friends, you want to come through? I'm like, if you know where I live, I'll be there watching the game.
Get your temperature taken. You got to go to Kris's house. You got to be right.
Right. Show me your vaccination
That's
papers.
right. Karen Allen, I just told a male student today to clean your nails. It looks so it does.
Good job, Karen. You're a great teacher.
And dudes, if she's got dirty nails and feet.
Somebody said, great show, good show. We need more time. We do need more time.
We do.
You know what? I need y'all to write in.
And
say,
Susan's a faithful viewer, too.
We need them back at late night talk. Because I like to curse. I like to be drunk and a little messed up.
Curse at 6? Like, what, you can't curse?
But look.
I think you've done a great job.
Again, flirting is the best thing. So look. Don't necessarily throw away who you're with now. Give him or her a good look over.
Unless you want to.
Pull out your little checklist. And then decide if you want to leave or not, if it's worth your time or not to stay. But know that there are definitely other fish in the sea. And you are a beautiful person and should be loved like you want to be loved.
You should be.
But until next week, I think I'm going to reach out.
That's right. Tasha says, share the link to the show. Tell a friend to tune in. I want everyone next week to bring a friend.
You know what? That's why I married them. You always marry somebody smarter than you. Folks, if you're watching this, if you halfway enjoyed the show, do me a favor next week. Tell one person about the show. Share the link. Share the love. And I'll bring that heat. I will bring that heat. But anyway, we out of here. Tune in for Brian Foster next.
I'll be here.
Gina B will be back with Ask a Black Woman Anything. And after that, we call Wednesdays.
Which
is always wild as hell.
Off the chain.
I'm going to start finding out their subject matter because they get bucked.
Oh.
They get bucked.
Oh, yes.
And that's the side of me that loves stuff like that.
Now, they're the ones that deserve the late night
But anyway, we got to get out of sea. Remember, next week, y'all do me a favor. Love it. Like Kris the Critic page. Share it. Tell somebody about it. I want to see you, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your ex-man, your ex-woman, all of them for next week's show. Love y'all. We out of here. Until next week, peace and love. Kris and Gina, we out of here. Peace.